Welcome back and moving on to our second segment for today. When we talk about the month of March, well, the 8th of March is dedicated or marks the Women International Day, and the 16th also marks the Egyptian Women Day. Also, we have the 21st of March, which marks the Mother's Day. So as we can see, the whole month is dedicated for women. That's why we say the month of March is Women Month. Many efforts actually were exerted by the government to support and empower women on all domains. Over the phone, we have Dr. Sarah Khater, and she's Assistant Professor of Media at Cairo University. Hello.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning. It's my pleasure.
So first of all, talking about the achievements that took place when it comes to supporting and providing more tools and empowerment for women in Egypt. How do you see this so far?
Well, I think in the past few years, President Sisi cared a lot about women's rights, specifically. I think he pointed out more than one time that stressing on women's rights and giving them the right place in society will help establish a balanced and more just society. I think President Sisi he instructed the government to give women more places with regard to political participation and representation in boards of directors and so on. So I think we have achieved a lot in this area so far in the past few years.
When we talk about facilities provided for women, I can say that this is the best kind of investments, because when you invest in women in general, you are investing in the whole society. How do you see this?
Well, I think women in Egypt, they play a very important role in society. When you invest in facilities for women, like, for example, education, you help women, you help the society in general in many areas. For example, you affect the poverty rates in a positive way. You lessen the poverty rates because when you give more efforts to educating women, you allow them to have more places at work, and that would increase their personal income and maybe increase their family income. So economically, that would affect the entire state positively, and the society as well.
Talking, as you mentioned now, education, which is one of the most important tools for women in general, of course, for the young girls, especially in remote areas. And we have seen many different efforts exerted, whether we're talking about classes opened over there or the schools and following up with the young girls in particular. Yes. How do you see this, and how can we reach more in different areas? Because not only about schools, even if we are working just to make sure that all of the young girls are joining schools, we need also to make sure that after schools they are going to join universities as well for more education.
I agree. I totally agree. The challenge here is not just to make them join literacy classes or to join schools. The challenge here, I think, is to make them continue to learn and continue to have their education and complete their educational journey. I think there has to be more focus on literate classes in small villages and in the rural areas, and because educating women can influence the society in other ways as well, not just economically. I think that would lead to less domestic violence. It would make a woman more capable of raising her children, more capable of providing health care. So I think providing more attention to these kinds of efforts is very important during this time.
And if you are going to include the role of the private institutions and entities, NGOs, all these, because again, when we talk about mothers in general, we have to promote first awareness among them. If we are talking about how important it is when it comes to the young girls and the concept that the future is only in making sure that they can or they are capable of the continuation of their education to be able to have better life and more security in their lives. Because still, of course, we know that many of the old women still believe that a girl at the end, she has to get married to make sure she is safe and secure, and that's it. This is the
Yes.
core for them.
Yes, exactly. I think the NGOs can participate a lot in such efforts. Like, for example, partnering with the state effort in holding literacy classes in villages and so on. They can also hold focus groups for young ladies and for little girls to increase their awareness. And like you just said, just to spread the concept that marriage is not just to protect women from poverty. No, in order to protect herself from poverty, she has to be independent, and education gives her that, and gives her freedom, secures freedom for women. When a woman completes her educational journey, she's capable of working and supporting herself, and maybe supporting her family. So in this way, she becomes free. This is the most important way to achieve and to reach that point of freedom for women, I think.
Well, also we have to admit that the image of women in general in media has changed a lot. And this also is very, very important to show different kinds or styles of women to be role models to the young girls in particular to follow in their lives.
I think so, yes. Like you're saying, we had many series and movies in the past few years. I remember one was talking about our Egyptian sports heroes, like Hedaya Malak and Faryal Ashraf, and how they achieved this heroic and completed this heroic journey, and they're still doing it actually. So I think by exposing and their story, their successful story of reaching that achievement, I think we're teaching young people and we're teaching young ladies how to work on themselves and how to stress on their own skills and abilities to achieve better future for themselves and for their society, of course.
So how far are we giving more facilities for the young girls? Now I'm not talking about children, but I'm talking about adults or teenagers, especially when it comes to girls in particular. The concept that regardless of the challenges we are facing, providing them with some or different means of support, job opportunities, and in the meantime giving them the chance to continue with the line of education in general.
Well, I think the Egyptian state and, of course, also the National Council for Women are doing a great job in this regard. I think more efforts need to be implemented in this area because, as we were just saying, providing job opportunities for young ladies can help them reach their freedom and be independent, and that could increase their opportunities for a better future. I think, yes, we have achieved a lot in this regard, yes.
Well, talking about this month in general, and of course, the concept itself of being dedicated to women and providing all facilities to women. Nowadays, we can see women are participating in each and every single event taking place in the country. And first,
Yes.
this is very, very important because, again, we can see a real awareness among them. Sometimes we see some of the old women who still are not that, let's say, they are not university graduates. They only received simple means of education, yet they have a real awareness to all what is happening around them. And this is something also is very, very important.
Yes, I think March is a very important month because it always reminds us of how important it is to care for women in general and in society. As you're saying, we see sometimes women who are a little older than us, and they're remarkable. They're amazing. They're not. I see many examples around me. I see swimming champions. I see women who have been awarded the perfect mother for this month or for this year. We have a lot of examples that show us that, especially in Egypt, these examples show us that it's very important to keep caring for women and giving them their rights. And our history, our Egyptian history, is full of these examples from the ancient Egyptian time to right now.
Right, Dr. Sarah Khater, Assistant Professor of Media at Cairo University. Thank you very much for joining us. And I guess with this, we come to the end of our breakfast show for today. Thank you all for joining us, and stay tuned for more coming up on Nile TV International.